Hey, what's up guys, Thermo11 here, and today I will be doing a review over Kuriko's Basketball Season 3, Episode 12, or Episode 62, He is the Best Player. It's true. Kise was already one of my favorite characters in the show, but he's just so amazing at basketball. He's probably better at Iomine at this point. This episode was simply great. It put me in a good mood and it had me cheering and screaming as it went on. I really enjoyed it. It's bringing me back to like how good season 1 was. Season 2 was alright. Most of the focus was on Murasaki Bara and Iomine. And I also wanted to add this in that someone should have beat up Makoto and his team from what they did last season. Because of, you remember when they were fighting against his team and then they started to beat up Kiyoshi? That was wrong. But the only violence we've gotten so far was Iomine and Hayazaki fighting. So in this episode, we get the conclusion of the Kaijo versus Saren game and the beginning of the the Generation of Miracles flashback, or the Teiko flashback. I think that's the name of their school. First, I'll start off with the game, of course. They skipped the opening, and that's how you know stuff is about to go down. Once someone skips the opening, that's how you know it's about to be epic. They needed that extra minute and 30 seconds. So they showed part of it later in the episode for some reason. I don't know. They made some weird decisions with that and everything, but who cares? What Saren was trying to do was to predict which Generation of Miracles member Kise would copy. And it's a good strategy, and I would say you could also influence what he's about to do and sort of predict the future from there. Kuroko comes up with a plan, which is pretty much what I said. They kind of forced him into copying a certain member. The team steps onto the court and, you know, they're completely serious and everything. Kagami scores one shot, which Kise almost stopped. His finger, like, touched the ball or something, but it still went in. And, of course, someone's calling, so that kind of messes up my video, but I'll stop it here. I really hate when people do that. So, yeah, back to the video. I was talking about how, they were forcing like Kise into a certain... Oh yeah, the team, they step onto the court and they're completely serious. Kagami scores one shot, which, you know, Kise almost stopped, and his finger kind of touched the ball, but the ball still went in. I think that's where I left off. And then Kuroko gets he gets on Kise, but Kise passes him using like Iomine's super speed. And next Kagami comes in, which is pretty much expected. So he uses Ayakashi on him. And it's great because Kagami recovers from the first ankle break, but he can't handle a second one. And I guess it kind of shows us that he's getting a little bit used to Akashi's techniques. So we might see him being used to the ankle breaks in the final fight or something like that. And then he goes into Murasaki Bara for Thor's hammer because there are two people waiting at the bottom of the goal. And then, you know, when you see two people covering Kise, when I saw two people covering Kise, I knew it was going to have to happen that way. And you know what's really, like, interesting about this? Kuroko predicted all of this. And, you know, he's seeming to be very similar to Ayakashi. I wonder, you know, I wonder. Let's talk about that later. Kise then has the whole thing where he's thinking whether he should pass it or not because he can't really use Thor's hammer at that point. And I'm guessing the game with Iomine kind of messed him up in his head with all the things that Iomine was saying to him. And he's just wondering what the ace of a team should be doing. You know, people have told him different things such as Kasamatsu, Iomine. You know, should the ace be leading the team or working with the team? You know, should he be looking at the people behind him, or should he just continue running forward and have them support him? And Kise, I think what he needs to do, he needs to find his own identity. Not passing is more of a thing that Iomine would do. Well, the old Iomine. We haven't really seen him on the court since his match with Kuroko, but it seems like he's nicer now. So, I mean, that's not part of your character, Kise. You're a nice person. You pass to your teammates. I feel like that's more of your character. And Kise passes the ball to Kasamatsu, and then Kasamatsu seems a little bit shocked, and they score. And then there's 4 seconds left in the game, and Saren doesn't seem worried. They seem pretty serious, actually. And here comes the problem with this episode and the problem overall with the series. I've seen this complaint a lot, and I have problems with it myself. The game relies on the end of the match way too much, And I guess it wouldn't be as exciting if a team had double points or were 20 points ahead or something like that. But every game has been like this. Saren isn't the best team. They just know how to use the last few seconds of the match. They really use the time at the end of the match. That's how they win all of their matches. I don't know about Season 1, but I know from Season 2 and on, that's how pretty much all the games have been. And in terms of skill, Aomine, Kise, and Murasaki Bara were better teams than Saren. I'm not sure about Midorima. I guess we could put him on there too. I don't remember him doing like that many like crazy things, but yeah, we can throw him on there too. Or I could throw him on there too. And I don't know how the author can mix it up without being boring, but you know, I think the author should definitely try to work on that at least. But even before this game, even before this, Kazumatsu told his team to use up the time because there was a little bit of time left. And I don't think that's how it went down, but when I heard him say that, I knew that would be part of the reason why they would lose the game. I don't really think you should be wasting any time on the court because that can come back to bite you in the butt. That's just me. Also, Saren would need an extremely fast play to even win the game. And that was definitely over 4 seconds. There's no way that could have been just 4 seconds. And keep in mind, Kuroko came up with all of this. That stuff earlier was just a way to push Kagami closer to Kaijo's goal. And then had Teppei throw the ball to him. So Kagami could, you know, put it in. And then Kaijo, they couldn't really catch up with Kagami except Kise. And then Kagami goes for the Meteor Jam Dunk, which he can't stop. He's already in motion. Like, he can't stop it. Kise's in front of him. Kuroko's behind him. He can't stop it. So what he does is he throws the ball at the goal, and then it comes back right into Kuroko's hands. And I thought that was awesome. And then Kuroko does his phantom shot. And it was an awesome play and a buzzer beater. But still, Kise should have won this match. I would have rather had Kise win this match. You know, I like when authors switch it up and, you know, the main character might not always win. We might have someone else win. And I think that would have been a lot more interesting if Kise had won and gone against Ayakashi or Akashi. And Kagami, what happened to the zone? I'm sure he would have been on par with Kise if he had to use the zone. But I also like how the author doesn't use it in every game because that might get boring or, you know, annoying that they're using the zone in every game, and then some players don't have the zone. You know, like in Dragon Ball Z, they use the Super Saiyan form in every fight after it's been introduced. That's kind of set as the standard. In this, it's not like the zone is set as the standard. It's just another option you have. They still won the game, but they didn't use the zone. And I'm sure we'll see it in the final game with, you know, Saren and Rakuzan. I guess Kise can't do the zone, or maybe it'll be later in the series with the extra game manga or something like that. We might see Kise use it. Who knows? And I felt really bad for Kise in this match. He put everything on the line. Plus, he was holding it. He was holding it in, you know, like his emotions and everything. And then Katsumatsu kind of tells him that he can be a good model, but he's a bad actor. And then he starts crying like crazy. And I almost teared up because I was like, oh man, I feel so bad for you. You really wanted this. And I know, you know, in every game you want to win, but Kise specifically, I feel bad for him. And do you guys remember when they were crying in the locker room after the match with Aomine? Man, they've been through a lot. And for some reason the ending plays early in the episode. I'm not sure why. And after the game, there's some downtime with Saren. Kuroko's happy for doing the deciding shot of the match because that was his first time doing that. Kagami lost his ring and he's going back to look for it. And Midorima has it. They talk about Ayakashi, Kuroko, and Takao show up. And the basic thing to take from this is that he mentioned that there are 2 Ayakashis. And he tells Kagami to ask Kuroko about the rest. And I think Ayakashi taught Kuroko his passing style, right? I believe that was said. Or, there's something with Kuroko and Ayakashi. I believe there's something like that going on. And my theory would be that Kuroko might be as good as Ayakashi. and for some reason he's not using those skills. Maybe we see a little bit of in this episode. We see how smart he is, but who knows? And I mean, they look alike and everything, but that's just something that's there. I doubt they're related in any way besides being friends. I don't know, maybe they're cousins. And maybe there's another Ayakashi on Rakuzan and we haven't seen that member or something like that. Anyways, they go to Kagami's house, and Kuroko tells them the story of how the generation of miracles came together, and Kuroko started playing in the 5th grade after watching it on TV and everything. I wish I had gotten into basketball myself. I'm kind of old now to like be playing basketball or anything, or like on a team or something like that. I'd have to be really good if I wanted to play on a team at this point. And my parents tried to get me to play, but they never put me into a camp until later. And the camp was like, you should know how to play basketball if you're in the camp. That's kind of how it works. I mean, you should start with basketball when you're younger, not when you're older and everything. And you have to know certain things. You can't just be like, hey guys, can we start from step 1? No, we're not going to start from step 1. You have to know step 1 and step 2. We're starting at step 3. I don't know. But enough about me. Kuroko, he was playing on his own. Wait, yeah. Okay, yeah, Kuroko was playing on his own at like a basketball court or something, and he met a kid who apparently hates him now, or won't forgive him. Now, they didn't show the face of this boy, which was pretty much on purpose, but I think it's obvious that it's Kagami. I mean, the boy left Japan, has red hair, and he has a darker complexion, but, you know, that's just me. I think it's Kagami. I think it's pretty obvious. And maybe the story will make Kagami remember and hate Kuroko, which will cause some problems in the final game. Maybe the shadow and the light won't be working together as much, or maybe they don't want to be on the court together, something like that. And someone said they don't know if the anime can cover this and the final game, so this flashback might be fairly long, or maybe the game's fairly long, or maybe they're both like long and it can't cover all of it. Because someone said the episode count should be higher. I believe it's at like 24 or 26 this time around. And again, I'm not sure, but I can't wait for the new opening and ending next week. I think this is pretty much the mid-season finale, right? So we should be getting a new opening and new ending. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching my review, and I will see you guys later. Be sure to check out my review of Gurren Lagann. I worked really hard on that, and it's been getting some good feedback. I just wish more people would watch it. Follow me on Twitter at Melvin2898. Like the Sermo11 Facebook page. Both are in the description. Have a fantastic day. See ya.